In this digital world we're all swimming in, figuring out what's real and what's not. It feels like a full-time job sometimes.
It really does. The lines aren't just blurry anymore.
Exactly. They're being synthesized, created. We're talking about deepfakes, right? This feels like the ultimate step in digital trickery.
It's not just hiding truth, it's manufacturing fake truth that's incredibly convincing.
So that's our mission today. We're going to dive deep into this. It's fascinating, maybe a little scary too. We'll look at how they're made, where they came from, their impact.
The psychology behind why we fall for them.
Yeah, and surprisingly, some good uses too. And most importantly, how you, listening right now, can actually protect yourself.
Right. And to guide us, we've pulled together a whole load of material for you, articles, research, expert takes. We've basically distilled it all down.
To get you the core insights fast.
Exactly. A solid understanding of what's going on.
Okay, let's unpack it then. What exactly is a deepfake? Give us the basic definition.
Okay, so fundamentally, deepfakes are synthetic media. Very sophisticated stuff.
Made using AI.
Precisely. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, used to fabricate audio, video, images that look and sound totally real.
And the name itself, deepfake.
Yeah, it's a mashup, deep learning, which is a type of AI and, well, fake. Pretty straightforward.
Simple name, complex tech, though. How are they actually made? What's the magic or maybe the danger behind it?
Well, a lot of it comes down to something called a GAN, a generative adversarial network.
Okay.
Think of it like two AIs battling it out. One's the generator. Its job is just to make fake stuff constantly.
Trying to fool the other one.
Exactly. The other one is the discriminator. It's like a digital detective trying to spot the fakes.
Yeah, like a cat and mouse game.
Precisely. And this game, this constant back and forth, is what makes the fakes get better and better, more realistic over time. It's not static. It evolves.
Okay, so GANs are key, but there's more to it.
Oh, yeah. You've got other AI tech involved. Things like autoencoders, convolutional neural networks, CNNs.
What do they do?
Think of them as, like, digital artists. They map faces, superimpose features, track movements really, really accurately.
Can the voice?
Yeah.
Because some of those audio fakes are uncanny.
Right. That's where natural language processing, NLP, comes in. It learns and mimics a person's specific voice, their intonation, their style of speaking.
Wow. And all this is easier now.
Yeah, that's the other piece. High-performance computing is much more available. So making really high-quality deepfakes, it's faster, it's cheaper, it's just more accessible than ever before.
And that accessibility, that's kind of the root of the problem spreading, isn't it? Where did this term even come from?
It's actually pretty recent, 2017. Came from a user on Reddit.
Just some person online?
Yep. They shared an algorithm to make these fake videos. But the kicker was what happened next.
It got out.
Big time. The code went open source. Places like GitHub hosted it.
Oh, wow.
Then came apps like Fake App. Suddenly, you didn't need to be a coding genius. Almost anyone could try making one.
And that's why we're seeing this explosion now, this democratization led directly to the fraud and everything else.
Absolutely. It went from a niche thing to a widespread threat, affecting all of us.
Which brings us to the really alarming part. The money, the financial threat seems to be escalating like crazy.
It really is. The numbers are stark. Deepfake fraud attempts. They jumped 3,000% in 2023.
3,000%.
Yeah, and it's not slowing down. In 2024, they reckon there's a deepfake digital identity attack happening like every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes. That's hard to even process. What does that mean in actual dollars lost?
Well, for businesses, the average loss in 2024 was nearly $500,000.
Wow.
And for the big companies, large enterprises, that climbs up to around $680,000.
Huge amounts. And looking ahead?
The projections are pretty scary. They expect fraud losses just from generative AI, which includes deepfakes, to hit $40 billion US.
40 billion.
Just in the US by 2027.
These numbers are massive, but can we make it more concrete? Are there specific examples like major incidents?
Oh, definitely. There have been some really high-profile cases that show just how bad it can get.
Like what?
Remember that multinational firm in Hong Kong? They lost $25.6 million.
How?
A deep-fake video call.
Yeah.
Someone convincingly impersonated the company's CFO, authorizing transfers.
Unbelievable. On a video call.
Yep. And another one, a company director got impersonated on a phone call, just audio, led to a $35 million transfer.
35 million. Just from a voice fake.
It shows how convincing they can be. And it's not just finance. Politics is a huge target.
Right, like that robocall.
Exactly. The deepfake of President Biden telling New Hampshire voters basically to stay home during the primaries, a direct hit on the democratic process.
Okay, so that's the global picture. Huge financial losses, political interference. Does this stuff happen everywhere? What about, say, closer to home for many people, maybe in a country like Bangladesh? Are we seeing similar things?
We absolutely are. The patterns translate directly.
Yeah.
Bangladesh has seen its share of deepfake incidents that sadly mirror these global issues.
Financial scams, political stuff.
Both.
Yeah.
For instance, there were deepfake videos going around social media. They showed the chief advisor, Professor Mohammed Yunus, seemingly endorsing gambling apps.
No way. How did they make it look real?
They were clever. They doctored footage from a real interview he did with Al Jazeera. They even slapped the logo of a credible news source, bdnews24.com, onto it to boost legitimacy.
That's sophisticated manipulation using
Yeah.
trusted brands.
Exactly. And in politics, leaders from the opposition party, the BNP, they've claimed AI deepfakes were used against them,
How so?
distorting their speeches, creating fake videos, and these were apparently spread on platforms seen as pro-government, used for smearing them, maybe even extortion.
And it gets worse.
Unfortunately, yes. Other political deepfakes popped up too, fake announcements of candidates dropping out right on election night, and really disturbing stuff like creating fake, explicit videos of female politicians.
That's horrific. So these local examples, they show the same playbook is being used everywhere, targeting trust, spreading misinformation.
Precisely. It shows a deep understanding of how to manipulate media and public perception. The global threat is very much a local reality in places like Bangladesh, too.
So this brings us back to the human side of it. Why do these things work so well? It seems like it's not just about the tech being good.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's fundamentally a human problem. Deepfakes are designed to exploit our psychological vulnerabilities, especially when we're stressed or under pressure.
What kind of vulnerabilities are we talking about?
Well, primarily our cognitive biases, those little shortcuts our brains take that aren't always accurate, like confirmation bias. We love information that confirms what we already think is true, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So if you already dislike a politician and you see a deepfake of them doing something bad,
Yeah,
you're much more likely to just accept it as real.
makes sense. What else?
Trust bias. We're wired to trust sources we perceive as authoritative or familiar. Think about those scams impersonating CEOs. They work because we inherently trust that voice or face, especially if it seems to come through official channels.
Right, the Hong Kong example again.
Exactly. And then there's FOMO, fear of missing out.
How does that play in?
That anxiety, that need to be part of the conversation, it makes people share sensational stuff, including deepfakes, really quickly. Accuracy often takes a backseat to just getting it out there, being engaged.
And we probably all think we're pretty good at spotting fakes, don't we? This illusion of control.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
People are often way too confident in their ability to detect them. But the research, it's sobering.
Who that is it?
One study showed people could only correctly identify high-quality deepfakes about 24.5% of the time, less than a quarter.
Wow. So that overconfidence makes us sitting ducks, basically.
Pretty much, especially when things are moving fast, like during a crisis or an election.
There's another dangerous side effect you mentioned, the liar's dividend. What's that about?
Yeah, this is really insidious. When people become aware that deepfakes exist, bad actors can exploit that knowledge. They can take real evidence, a genuine recording, a legitimate video of them doing something wrong, and just dismiss it. Oh, that's just a deepfake.
Ah, so they use the existence of fakes to undermine actual truth.
Exactly. It erodes trust in all media, makes it incredibly hard to hold anyone accountable. Our whole shared sense of reality starts to fray.
That's a really chilling thought. It feels quite dystopian. But hang on, you said earlier the tech itself, the AI, it's neutral.
That's right. The technology itself isn't inherently good or bad.
Yeah.
Like any powerful tool, its impact really boils down to who's using it and why.
So are there examples where this same tech is being used for good, some positive applications?
Oh, absolutely. There are some genuinely fantastic uses emerging.
Like in entertainment. I think I heard about that.
Yeah, definitely. De-aging actors.
Yeah.
Making them look younger for flashbacks.
Yeah.
Or even bringing back iconic actors who've passed away for cameos. Think Star Wars or The Irishman.
Okay, I've seen some of that. What else?
Yeah. Medicine. You can create incredibly realistic simulations of patients for medical students to train on. Safe environment, realistic scenarios.
That sounds really useful.
Education, too. Imagine museums with lifelike AI versions of historical figures you can interact with, like the Salvador Dali exhibit they did.
Wow, talking to Dali.
Kind of. And accessibility. This is huge. Think of Val Kilmer. He lost his voice due to throat cancer.
Yeah, I remember that.
Deepfake tech was used to recreate his voice based on old recordings, so he can speak again in films or projects. It's amazing.
That really is incredible, giving someone their voice back.
Or David Beckham. He did a public health campaign against malaria. Using deepfake tech, he delivered the message in multiple languages, but it perfectly preserved his own facial expressions. Much more impactful.
So, okay, it's a double-edged sword, clearly. Huge risks, but also some real benefits.
Exactly.
Which brings us to the practical stuff. For you listening, how do you build resilience? How can you actually spot these things? Become a kind of digital detective.
Yeah, you definitely can. There are specific clues, visual and audio red flags that often give deepfakes away. Think of it like a little checklist.
Okay, what should we look for visually?
Eyes are a big one. Look for unnatural movement or someone not blinking at all for a weirdly long time. Also, facial expressions, do they match the emotion of what's being said? Or do they look pasted on?
What else?
Unnatural body movements, jerky or stiff. Check the lighting. Is it consistent on the face and the background? Look closely at the edges, around the hair, the face, the neck. Sometimes you see blurring or artifacts there.
So if something feels off, maybe slow the video down.
Absolutely. Slow it down, pause it, really scrutinize those details. Check for authenticity markers if it's supposed to be from a news source.
And audio clues.
Poor lip syncing is a classic giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Does the mouth movement actually match the words? Does the voice sound flat, robotic, or just off? Is the tone of voice right for the facial expression? Watch for that alignment.
Okay, visual, audio. What about just the context?
Huge red flag. If the content seems just wildly bizarre or overly sensational, be skeptical, especially if you only see it pop up on one weird website or social media account and nowhere else.
So always try to find the original source.
Yes. Or check with multiple trusted news outlets to see if they're reporting the same thing. If they aren't, be very suspicious.
So being a detective is one part. What about general digital hygiene, things we can all do?
Absolutely critical. First big one, pause and verify. Just stop before you hit share on something shocking or amazing, especially if it really pushes your buttons or confirms what you already believe.
Take a breath, check it out first.
Exactly. Check multiple credible sources. Second, protect your digital footprint. Be mindful of how many high-quality photos and videos of yourself you're putting online.
Why does that matter?
Because that's the raw material deepfake creators use. The more data they have of your face, your voice, the easier it is to fake you. Use strong privacy settings.
Good point. And third?
Embrace strong security. Always, always use multi-factor authentication, MFA, that extra layer of security. It makes it much harder for someone to take over your accounts, even if they manage to fake your voice or face somehow.
Okay, that's good advice for individuals.
No.
What about businesses? Corporate leaders? The stakes seem even higher there.
They are definitely magnified. For leaders, the strategy needs to be more robust. First, employee awareness and training are non-negotiable.
Like cybersecurity drills.
Yes, regular training, deepfake-specific drills. Foster a culture where it's okay, even encouraged, to question unusual requests, even if they seem to come from the boss via video or voice message. Skepticism is healthy here.
Makes sense. What else?
Strong verification protocols. This is crucial. Never, ever rely only on a video call or a voice message for sensitive actions, like transferring money or changing account details.
So always have a backup check.
Always. Use a secondary channel, something agreed upon beforehand, maybe a specific challenge question, or calling back on a known trusted phone number, not the one the potential scammer called from.
Out-of-band verification, they call it sometimes.
Exactly. And finally, use tech to fight tech. Use AI tools to monitor your company's digital presence, looking for potential deepfake impersonations.
And for things like video calls.
Implement advanced biometrics. Things like liveness detection can help confirm the person on the video feed is actually a live human being, not just a recorded or injected fake image.
Right. Fighting fire with fire, essentially. Okay, this leads us naturally to the legal side. What are governments doing? Are laws catching up? You mentioned a trend in South Asia.
Yes,
Go ahead.
governments worldwide are scrambling to update laws, and South Asia is definitely seeing some significant action.
How are different countries tackling it?
Well, take South Korea. They've outright banned deepfakes and manipulated media within 90 days of an election. Penalties are stiff, up to 7 years in prison.
Wow, that's serious. What about India?
India's got several initiatives, like the AI TRA Bill 2024. They're criminalizing making or sharing deepfakes without consent, particularly for things like non-consensual sexual imagery, fraud, or identity theft. The government can also order takedowns and prosecute under existing cybercrime laws.
And Dagestan.
They've amended their Prevention of Electronic Crimes Act, PECA. The 2025 version specifically targets spreading false information likely to cause public fear, which could include deepfakes. Penalties there are up to 3 years in prison and a hefty fine.
So a clear focus on election integrity and public order in the region.
Definitely.
Now, back to Bangladesh. You mentioned their situation earlier. They have new legislation too, right? The Cyber Security Ordinance 2025.
That's right. It's quite noteworthy because it specifically includes provisions targeting cybercrimes that involve AI. That's actually a first for South Asia.
So it sounds progressive, a step forward.
On paper, yes. It aims for a more balanced approach compared to the previous law, the Digital Security Act, or DSA.
The DSA had problems.
It faced a lot of criticism, yeah. Many felt it was used to suppress dissent and free speech, with very broad, vague definitions of crimes. It was seen by some as enabling digital repression.
Okay, so the new ordinance is better, but...
But here's the critical issue. The new Cyber Security Ordinance actually keeps many of the controversial provisions from the old DSA.
Ah, so there's a contradiction there.
A major one. While adding specific AI crime provisions is progressive, keeping the potentially repressive parts of the old law raises serious questions.
So the real test is how it's actually used.
Exactly. The success, the fairness of Bangladesh's new legal framework hinges entirely on its implementation. Will it genuinely target harmful deepfakes while protecting free expression and human rights? Or will it inherit the problems of the DSA? It's a really crucial test case for balancing security and democracy in the region.
Wow. Okay, what a deep dive this has been. We've gone from the nuts and bolts of how deepfakes are made
To their pretty scary real-world impacts, both financial and political.
recognized our own psychological weak spots.
But also explored some surprisingly positive uses of the core technology.
And hopefully equipped you with some concrete tools and strategies to defend yourself, whether you're an individual or leading a company.
Yeah, the big takeaway, I think, is that this isn't just a tech problem. It's deeply societal.
It requires all of us.
Individual vigilance, definitely. Corporate responsibility and preparedness, and thoughtful, balanced laws that protect us without silencing legitimate voices.
So let's leave our listeners with something to chew on, a final thought.
Okay.
Given everything we've discussed, especially that liar's dividend, this idea that anything can be dismissed as a fake, and the tricky balance between security and freedom, how do we as a society actually decide what's real anymore? What is our shared reality when fabrication is so easy?
Yeah.
And what's our responsibility beyond just learning to spot a deepfake? What do we as individuals, as institutions need to do to actively safeguard truth and trust in this new, increasingly synthetic world?